Greetings, fellow campfire jammers. I'm Dustin Cormier. This is How to Rock a Campfire. And today's lesson, we are going to learn Revolution by the Beatles. Now, I can play the song the way the song is played in the key of C, and a lot of people would prefer to play it that way because this is the way that they did it in their electric version with all the electric extra funny stuff going on in there. I myself prefer to play this song the way John Lennon wrote it and the way John Lennon I think he preferred to play it. And he played it an acoustic version. He's got a demo tape of him playing it, and there are tapes of it being played floating around somewhere anyway. And this version just kind of has a lot more of an earthy sort of acoustic sound, which I think kind of relates to the hippie, revolutionary rebel image that John Lennon was trying to portray. So that's the version we're going to play today. And at the end, I guess I'll show you how to play it in the key of C. So I'm going to show you the main basics of the song, and then I'm just going to play it the whole way through. Now, the way that they start this song, John Lennon and all his friends, is they would start it like this, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to play our A chord by taking the fat part of your finger and placing that, barring it with your first finger over the second fret of the D, the G, and the B string, while still having that high E string going up there, right? And so you've got to really bend your finger, which I will usually tell people not to do, to have this your finger straight like that. But for this style of chord, it's the only style of chord that I ever have my finger straightened out like that anyway, and it's just proper for the song. So this is what he's doing for this first initial riff, okay? I'll play it first. Right, so what he's doing there when he's doing that is he's playing from the 5th to the 6th, right? Like any normal blues song, a very common blues thing to do. So the 5th being the E note, the 5th of the A chord, that E note is going from the E to the F sharp, right, in a swung rhythm. 1, 6th, 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th. Right? That's the main strum and beat of the whole song. And what he's doing for that little riff is you want to have, this is why we're putting our finger like this, by the way. You want to have your second finger and your third finger readied on the 3rd fret of the the 3rd fret of the B string and the 4th fret of the G string, okay? So it's this shape that we want to have, right? With these two fingers. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide the two fingers from this position on the 3rd fret and the 4th fret to the 5th fret and the 6th fret. Right? And then you bring it back down to the 3rd fret and the 4th fret, 3rd fret of the B and the 4th fret of the G, and then back to that normal A. And then you're also gonna slip in a little 6th in there, right? So it's okay. So we're when we slide up to that high. No, this is like a little riff, I guess is what you would call this, or maybe a lick. You're sliding up to, like I said, the middle finger is on the 5th fret of the B string, and your 3rd finger is on the 6th fret of the G string, and that's what slides up to there. And using that same shape, you're just gonna bring that riff down 2 whole frets. And then you're going to go back to your normal A. And so that's how you do that initiatory riff for that song, right? And then he goes right into it. You say you want a revolution, well, you know. Okay, so now we're taking our 5th to our 6th, and we're going to do that same thing in the D chord. Okay, okay? You've got our first finger on the second fret of the G string, which is the A note, okay? A is the fifth of D, remember, right? And so you're playing with the fifth and the sixth of the D chord. And so we're going, and you're going to use your pinky. This is a bit of a stretch for the pinky. You're going to use your pinky to go from the fifth to the sixth. The sixth of the D, by the way, is the B note. And the B note is on the fourth fret of the G string. So you're going from the second fret of the G string to the fourth fret of the G string. And that's what makes that sound. We all want to change the world. You tell me that it's you tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. So that's after the D, you go to the E7. Now is B minor. But when you go talking about to the E7th, destruction, B minor, well, don't you know that you can... Okay, now this next part is a little bit tricky. I'll explain it and then I'll play it through again. We're going from the B minor to the E7th, B minor. You ain't gonna make it with anyone. Now you're gonna bar. We're doing a bar chord here, which is a little bit tricky, and it's a little bit easier the way they do it in the other the C version. But anyway, this is how John Lennon does it. So you're going from the G. It's quick and it's a weird syncopated rhythm. G, A, F sharp, and it's all major, right? So we're going B minor. But when you're talking about destruction, don't you know that you can G, A, F sharp, and then to the E7. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Alright, don't you know it's gonna be alright? Hey, say you got a real solution. Well, you know, we'd all love to see the plan. You asked me for a contribution. Well, you know, we all doing what we can. B minor. But when you want money for people with minds that day, all I can tell you is, brother, you have to wait. Right? It's a little bit syncopated. It's weird. It's gonna be alright. Alright. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Hey. Alright. So for that E part, before he goes back and starts the verse again, what he's doing there is he's playing on... You're going to keep your finger in the implied E chord shape, the shape of the E chord, okay? Now, this finger, the first finger doesn't come off of the first fret of the G string, okay? That's the G sharp note, okay? So your G sharp stays anchored there, and what you're doing is you're going to hammer onto the second fret of your A string, right? Okay, so that's a hammer on, and then you hit the seventh of the E chord, which is the open D string. Okay, so you're gonna do the hammer on to the second, then the seventh, and then you're gonna hammer on again, and then you're actually gonna hit the second fret of the D string, which is the E note. Okay, right? Ding, ding. And then you just do it twice, and then you come right back into the A, right? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Know it's gonna be alright. Hey. Now notice what I'm doing here. This is a cool little part. I'll hit it and I'll go doo-doo-doo, and then I'll have, so it's almost like these two parts of the riff, where I do the hammer on and then I hit the note, are the downstroke, and then I have all I'm doing for that upstroke is I'm trying to focus on just hitting the high E string and the high B string. Okay? That's on the up string. And then you go right back into it, right? You say you changed the Constitution. Well, you know, we all want to change your head. You tell me it's the institution. Well, you know, you better feel mine instead. But when you comparing your pictures of Cam and now, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Shoo-ba-doo-oh-oh, shoo-ba-doo, alright. Shoo-ba-doo-oh-oh, shoo-ba-doo, alright. Hey. Alright. Oh, alright. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Hey. Alright. Hey. So that was a A major 7th, in case anybody's wondering. They don't do that, but I just I end a lot of my songs that are in the key of A with that A major 7th. So that's how John Lennon wrote the song, to have it as a sort of acoustic political rallying song. And I personally like it a lot better the way they do it in that style. But for the sake of completeness, I'm going to show you guys how to play the electric version, well, at least the implied chords of the version that everybody knows and that probably that everybody's voice is a little bit more used to. Okay? So the way they do it with Paul McCartney and with the rest of the band and the Beatles is they play the song in the key of C. Okay? So now you're going to notice that all I'm doing is taking all these chords that in the key of A, and I'm bringing them all up 3 semitones, right? So the original first chord was A. Now the original first chord is C, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it's three whole tones up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. A, B flat, B, C. Okay. Now the next chord, for example, just to show you what I'm talking about, the first chord is the A in John Lennon's version, and then the next chord is D, which is the 4th of A. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, since the C chord was 3 notes up, we can do the same thing for our D chord, and so we're going to go up three semitones. So D is our first note, and then we go 1, 2, 3. Okay, the same distance between the A and the C is the distance between the D and the F. All right, so F is the 4th of C, and so that's the next chord we're going to go into. And so I guess I'll just play through a verse for you guys, just so you can at least know the song in the key of C. You say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. You tell me that it's institution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. Okay, so we're going D minor. 7th, I guess, but whatever works. D minor. But what people talking about to the G? Destruction. D minor. Well, don't you know that you can? Okay, now this is the same thing as the other, as the John Lennon version, except it's brought up 3 notes. And so this is how it translates in the C version. You're gonna go from the B flat to the C to the A. Alright, and it's all major chords, so it's a bit of a strange stretch to be able to go. You're going to do that A-style chord, but up 1 fret with a bar chord. And then the same thing for your C chord, and then the same thing obviously for your A chord, so there's little bit less movement, okay? So I'm just going to play that through again so you guys know what I'm talking about. But when you go talking about destruction, don't you know that you can count me out to the G? Don't you know it's to the C? Alright, alright, don't you know it's gonna be alright, hey. Alright, hey. Alright, don't you know it's gonna be. So that is Revolution by the Beatles, played in the key of A and also played in the key of C. I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this video, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one.